Oh, Brandon. Oh. I clicked on their Twitter. Their cover photo is every shirt hanging in the league.
That's fantastic.
Fuck yes. All right.
That's done.
Fantastic. Let's go.
They will be the next and the last episode we ever do. Gods.
This is my favorite league ever.
That's fantastic.
Oh, I have a new favorite league.
Like the...
Love these guys.
In Hollis, Queens. Mom's cooking chicken and collard greens. Rice and stuffing macaroni and cheese. And Santa put gifts under Christmas trees. Decorate the house with lights at night. Snow's on the ground, snow white so bright. In the fireplace is the Yule log. Beneath the mistletoe as we drink eggnog. The rhymes that you hear are the rhymes of carols. Like each and every year we bust Christmas carols.
Hello, hi, and welcome to Good Eye, the only show on the Two Wiffle Dudes podcast network that is only about uniforms and logos and not right. NWLA tournament every time and right. Guests and interviews. Yeah, so I'm Trent Steffes of the MNWA and the HRL, and with me as always is Brandon Corbett.
Hey Trent,
Commissioner.
Why didn't you say that you were part of the SWBL as well?
Yeah, I was thinking of doing that, but I think one time when I was on Around the World of Wiffle Ball, Carl...
Plug.
Yeah, exactly. You can see that on YouTube or something. Two Wiffle Dudes Podcast Network. No, and I asked Carl to put that in my intro, but he refused to do it, so
that's
since
Carl...
Yeah, so since Carl has a monopoly on everything wiffle ball, I just decided to follow it. Yes, so welcome to get Brandon, I was going to ask, we're about to get to a couple Wiffy Award winners. You were nominated for Commissioner of the Year. I didn't listen to the whole podcast. Did you end up winning that?
I don't believe so. I would hope not. I don't think I did a damn thing this year as Commissioner. So if I did, that's sad. I'm sad that we won Website of the Year. I think we didn't do much with it.
I think your website's pretty entertaining.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's pretty good, but the last 2 years, our content level has dropped, and we keep winning. So
that's true.
That's the formula. Drop your content lower and lower, and you'll keep winning.
Just be lazy, and you'll get recognized. That's the theme for that. So speaking of the Wiffies, we had two inaugural Wiffy Awards this year: Best Logo, or Logo of the Year, and Jersey of the Year, and I was part of the team headed up on finding and nominating those winners. So let's start with the first logo. Let's start with the logo first. So the Wiffy Award for Logo of the Year was the SWBL Brewers. Brandon, are you familiar with this logo?
Yeah, this one was called back in, was it March when they were all released? This one was called
Yeah, I think so.
Clear front runner in March. Not surprised at all it won.
Yeah, it's a... From the minute I saw it, because I have kind of mixed feelings about all the SWBL logos that were released this past spring, and the one that stood out for me was the Brewers. It was just so cool, something that was kind of unique. The 6-pack of beer, and having played with those guys, it definitely fits their team. So that was an easy winner, and like you said, it was called back in March. So then we got to the not-so-easy winner, and that was the Jersey of the Year. So we didn't do Uniform of the Year, we did Jersey of the Year. And the winner, that was the New Carlisle Newts and their light blue alternates, I would call them.
Riffing on the Cardinals.
Exactly, and I thought that was so cool because when I was compiling nominees for this award, I was actually going to use a different jersey of the Newts, but then I came across that Cardinals one, and I'm like, holy cow. Like, I need to get pictures of this, like, actually printed out on the shirt because this is awesome. And the rest of the committee thought so because it got voted Jersey of the Year. And so congrats to those guys. And go ahead.
The other ones in the running there, I think Maple City Magic from Orwell.
Yep.
There was an HRL team, wasn't there?
Yeah, the Marlins. Yeah,
the Marlins. They had a Tequila Sunrise style thing going on.
They did, and the funny part is
similarly a lot of stripes.
But yeah.
Like, there were a lot of cool ones, but I did like that. The Newts one was simple, but it was great, and that. It actually had my nod of approval when you were passing them around.
Oh, really? Oh, good. The one knock I have against it is like their bit is like the Cubs and the Cardinals are the Cubs. Yeah, it's the same thing as the HRL using the old White Sox jersey template for a Minnesota team. It's like, what? Anyways.
Yeah. That's actually, I'm glad you bring that up, actually, unless you have one more thing to say.
No?
Because the Newts have just released a new jersey for the 2018 season.
Yes, they have, and that's a good segue into the next segment.
There you go. And the new jersey is a Cubs jersey.
Cubs related. Interesting how that works.
Cubs pinstripes is a throwback to the 80s, or not 80s, late 80s and early 90s style Cubs jersey.
Yeah, it looks more 90s.
Basically the same one they still wear now.
Except with the collar and everything.
Yeah. And in their release of it on Twitter, it was even saying they play at Migley Field, which again play on Wrigley Field. So they're just playing up the Cubs angle with this one. Overall, I don't think it's as good of a jersey as the Cardinals one, but it probably fits the team better.
I think that I actually kind of like this better than the Cardinals one because it's it's true to their theme of the Cubs, and I don't know, I just kind of like the simplicity of it, and I always love that Newt logo on the arm there with the front facing, kind of like the front facing Cubs. So yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of that logo, and so I really do like these jerseys, and I can't wait to see them in pictures and videos this season. So another new team, speaking of Orrible, another team, a new team released their new logo. The East Ridge Triple Crowns released this logo, and I just want to hear your thoughts on it first.
I like the bold color choice. It's kind of. Are we going to fight about colors again? Is it magenta, fuchsia? It's in the pinkish area.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is for sure. This is straight crimson, bro.
On the left-hand side? I mean, the dark side looks crimson. I don't know. It looks pinkish to me.
Okay. Maybe you need to get your eyes checked, but yeah.
Fix my monitor.
No, it's a... Maybe it's the monitor. I like... How do you like the shading? Like the kind of shadows?
I mean, on the crowns themselves, it's fine because it's just half and half. The wiffle ball... It works fine. The crescent down on there. I don't know. It's not... As far as shading goes, it's pretty well done, in my opinion.
Yeah. Can you guess the one thing I hate about this logo?
I'm going to guess the generic wiffle ball.
No, it's the holes on the wiffle ball, so you're kind of right, but they're so different.
Yeah. It looks like they just tried to clean up a low-quality image and got some weird... what's the word? What's the word I'm looking for?
Traces, bitmaps, I don't know,
weird lines,
something like that.
Something.
Yeah. So that's kind of the weird part to me. But other than that, I like that bit. And finally, we got my own MNWA team. Logos of my creation for my team, the Oars. So obviously, I'm pretty biased here, and I'm a big fan of these. Something you might not know here, Brandon. The colors that I chose are the exact colors of the Minnesota, the NFC North champion Minnesota Vikings.
Never heard of them.
Oh.
Do they play foosball?
I tweet about them every Sunday.
Ah, yes. I recognize it now.
Ah, okay. What do you think of these guys?
I like them. They're very solid. I know that you went through like 55,000 different concepts coming up to here.
That's true.
The primary, very good. I like the wave that you have going through there. The font, is that playing off of the Vikings at all, or is it? Oh, sorry, not the Vikings. University of Minnesota at all?
Yep, that's their athletic font, or their football font, I guess. Yeah, because the team's named after PJ Fleck, and his bit is row the boat, and he's always got an oar in hand. So I'm all in on PJ Fleck, and I'm all in on the oars bit. So yeah, that's where that comes from, and that is the font from the Gophers.
Yeah, and I hate the Vikings, but I like the colors here.
Mm-hmm.
And I also love the alternate. I mean, it's such a simple alternate, but
yeah,
I think it works so well.
Yeah, so I'll send you
sleeve patch. Can you do it?
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's actually based off this Minnesota this hat that everybody has in Minnesota. I called the Bemidji guys out for it because one of them had this hat, and it's just so weird because there's so many people in this state who have this hat. And it's two oars that are intersecting, and the company's like called Minnesota 32 or whatever, so that's the actual logo, but it's kind of based off of that. So it's just kind of a nod there for people who know about Minnesota. I'm sending you the link right now.
And I see it. I like yours better.
Yeah, thank you, yeah. So today's episode, we are going to be ranking the logo and jersey identities for teams from the Patriot Series Wiffle Ball League. So this is a league that we just completely stumbled across, and it's not a very well-known league, I don't think. Maybe Jacob Davies should have him on for Inside the NWLA, but the Patriot Series Wiffle Ball, the PSW, is from Texas. They have anywhere from 17 to 19 teams. There's kind of a disconnect between the website and the NWLA site and the Twitter and everything, but they've been part of the NWLA since 2016. They've been a league since 2007. They play 3 innings, 2 outs, very, very standard stuff. And their commissioners, Paul Horton and Max Smith. So we are going to be ranking those. We're going to do counter rankings like we did for the NWLA tournament.
I will do the odds, so I'll go first.
Brandon, you got your phrase right?
I've got my phrase.
And you said I should be able to do it. I don't know if you're going to get mine. Mine's pretty...
I powered down this time. I powered down to the average.
Yep, same here. I went adjective, noun, average, so look out. Anyways, Brandon, let's get it started for the Patriot Series Wiffle Ball League.
All right. And I like taking number 1 because it's always a softball. And this is going to be the Neighbors. They're in our big jersey lineup along the fence that got Trent and I hard when we first saw it.
That's accurate.
They don't have a jersey there, but they're on the site, so we're doing the 19 teams on the site. And the Neighbors, my thought on what they are is a team that looked over and was like, oh man, what are you guys doing? That looks cool. And then they're like, sure, come over and play. So the Neighbors joined in. That's completely made up and probably false, but to me it makes sense. The logo is just an Old English N. I'm from Detroit. I like Old English letters, but come on. It's not going to stack up against everything else that this league has going on.
Yeah, so the charm about this league is the fact that they dive in so deep for the team identities where they even have team mottos, which, by the way, the motto for the Neighbors is Party Crashers! Exclamation points. So, little fun fact there. Yeah, so, I totally agree with you. Just compared to everybody else, number 19 is a very softball question just because they don't have the jerseys. Number 18, I am going to go with the Whalers, a.k.a. the Grand... So, these teams are listed on their site as, like, their nickname, but some of them have full names. These are the Granbury Whalers, and their motto is slapping dingers since day one. And the reason that I have the Whalers so low is because, obviously they're going off the Hartford Whalers and that identity, but they ditch the cool logo with the whale tail in it, and they add a harpoon, a very detailed harpoon that the detail doesn't do it any justice because when it gets onto a T-shirt, it doesn't really show up well. But the thing that gets me the most is that this is just kind of it's either navy or dark. It's either a navy or black jersey with white lettering.
It's a dark navy.
Yeah, and the Hartford Whalers have royal blue and Kelly green. I love that combination, and they just completely squandered it here. So they got the cool logo, which they squandered, and they got the cool colors, which they squandered. That's why they're so low.
All right, I can feel you on that. It's not a very inspired one. It's a concept I've seen floated around the boards for a Whalers rebirth. I do like the harpoon, but like you said, it's a pretty stale look overall, especially when you get the navy jersey in there.
Yeah.
All right.
It's too tedious of a logo on the harpoon. The detail on the rope thing is just a bit too much.
Yeah. All right. So for number 17, I am going to go with, and I'm actually jumping back and forth between two right now. I'm going to go with the Founding Fathers.
Oh my gosh.
Did you have them number one? I wouldn't doubt it. I'm kidding.
You're not wrong.
What? How?
I'll explain myself after you explain yourself.
Do you love America so much that you had to put this number one? I mean, okay, you've got the Washington skyline. You've got Mount Rushmore, but it's more of a background design for a 1997 website than it is a logo. First of all, and it's just a white and black jersey. Same thing you did with the Whalers there, which is why it beat out the other one I was thinking of putting here. It's just not that inspiring. It's not colorful at all. I don't know. The logo itself gets muddy at any distance, so it's just, I don't like it. Sorry.
Yeah, you got a point there. I just like the bit because this is the team of dads, and their motto is "Don't sleep on the old guys." So I thought that's kind of funny, and it's like the Founding Fathers, and you got Mount Rushmore there, and I saw Mount Rushmore for the first time this past summer, so maybe I'm just romanticizing it. But I really like this bit, and I think this is a case where kind of black on white worked. Like a lot of times that is, like you said, uninspired. But I don't know, I just really like this identity. Obviously, we didn't click on that one. So for number 16, I'm going to go with the team. The team motto, "We play ball like girls." It's the token girls team, the Unicorns. And the reason that the Unicorns are so low is the logo, unicorns don't have wings. I don't know
Pegasus do. Pegasi?
Yeah, okay. Well, they're not called the Pegasi, they're called the Unicorns.
Pegasi,
and I just think that the logo is just completely inaccurate because I know it's an imaginary animal, but unicorns don't have wings. And with unicorns, you could the color possibilities are endless. Like you could go pink, you could go purple, light blue, yellow. You could have a really cool looking jersey concept, and they go with pale red. Like I don't understand how. I don't know. This is just you want to talk about uninspired? This is an uninspired. This might be the most uninspired unicorns look in the history of unicorn named teams.
You're right. I mean, you could go with a rainbow scheme or whatever you want to do there, sparkly. Pick one bright color and run with it, but it is kind of a tattoo logo. This probably actually is a tattoo somewhere.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But I mean, the dark red it's not the worst color to throw on there, but yeah, like you said, it's not evocative of a unicorn.
Yeah, it's not living up to the expectations set by the name and the logo, frankly.
All right, so now we're moving on to 15. And I'm going with the Minutemen. Trent has no reaction.
Tell me why. Well, it's such a flat reaction because I had them pretty low, too.
Okay. This is actually the one that I was fighting with the Founding Fathers on.
I'm sure they're actually pretty similar logos.
Yeah, I mean, they're both such fine lines in the logos that it gets lost at any distance at all.
I wonder if they got it from the same clip art site.
Yeah, and that's one of the things about this league is that every single one of these is either a concept they took or an actual logo or clip art. But so no one's going to get penalized for anything like that. In the Minutemen, it was a fun idea. I mean, you got the soldier, you've got the watch, which if 552 actually means something on this watch, they should have gotten some extra points. But
yeah,
I mean, overall, it's just such fine lines across everything that, yeah. And I mean, the mock-up we have here, it actually stands out a little bit better. Like the actual jersey is a little bit darker than that, and like the black against it doesn't stand out at all, especially with the fine lines. So
yeah, totally agree. If you ask me, I do like the clock bit, but it's just too out of place with this logo. It's just slapped on there just to try to be funny or whatever. And then you go with the Minutemen. That's a patriotic theme. Paul Revere, and their bit, their league's championship trophy is called the Paul Revere Lantern. So you have the team that's kind of based off the trophy, and it's just so meh. They could have gone full patriotic with red, white, and blue color scheme, but they go with electric blue or light blue or whatever you want to call that. So that's why I had them pretty low as well. So moving on to number 14, I'm going to go with, their motto, we tie a lot for some reason. I'm going with the Vikings, and this is the only time I'm ever going to rank a Vikings team low. The logo is from the Augustana Vikings, go Augie Doggies. That's where Devin and Riley Nelson of the NWLA go in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And for me, it's really about another squandered color scheme, because you got the Minnesota Vikings, purple and gold, great color scheme in my opinion. Then the Augustana Vikings, they're navy and gold, so that's another cool color combination. But for here, they go orange and black for just no reason. I don't know. It's just a lot of this has to do with the color for me, and it's just another squandered opportunity by a PSW team.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, maybe they were thinking that trying to go gold for the helmet and the yellow shirt they could get wasn't gold enough. I don't know. I mean, orange definitely doesn't execute in that. Or maybe they were trying to get the beard and hair to be a redheaded Viking. I don't know.
If this were a gold tank top, this would probably be closer to the top 10 than it is.
Yeah, it was definitely the lesser of the orange jerseys on here for sure.
Yep.
And, I mean, even the balance of it on the jersey is strange because of the hair flowing off. It's like it's got the head so far to the left. Yeah. It's an awkward look.
It's over the left rib cage.
All right, number 16.
Excuse me, we're on number 13.
13. Oh, I was looking at a different thing. Sorry, number 13.
Okay, nice of you to pay attention.
Well, I was reading another list.
Oh, I'm reading. Okay.
Because they were 16 in my rankings. The Texas Rangers.
Gotcha.
These are my rankings from 2 weeks ago, and I flipped them a bit. But the Texas Rangers.
Okay.
1, your name sucks.
Yep.
2, it's a black on royal thing on the jersey. Clip art star doesn't move my needle at all.
Well, it's not a clip art star. That's an actual Texas Rangers logo.
Is it one of the Texas Rangers logos?
Yeah, it's loosely. I mean, it resembles it.
Oh, yeah,
it pretty much is one of their alternates.
And then they just use the Rangers font between two lines. I don't know what the lines mean, but I mean, it's just meh is my thought on this one.
Yep, exactly. It's it doesn't move the meter at all. And I frankly can't stand when you have a logo and a script both on a jersey. It rarely works, and this is just another example of that. And frankly, it's kind of a trend throughout the whole league. So yeah, I totally agree. Rangers just completely uninspired. So number 12 here, I'm gonna go with the old Ironsides. So this team, where is it? Mother.
I comes before.
There we go. Okay. So, yeah, it's alphabetical order. I should have noticed that. So, I really do like the color scheme here. This is kind of the first one where the color scheme makes sense. I don't know if they intended it to make sense, but it definitely does because it's the gray jersey, iron is gray. Yeah, the thing that gets me here is the fact that it's copperplate Gothic or whatever, and that's just such a lazy font. And the logo, man, gosh, could it get any more detailed?
It's an illustration. It's
straight up a
picture. To be fair, it's only slightly less illustrated than the Buccaneers' current ship logo, Tampa Bay.
Yeah, no, you're totally right.
And at least this one has the mast on the proper side of the lower sail, so at least it has that going for it. But yeah, it's definitely an illustration.
Yep, little too much there for me.
But yeah, I love the color scheme on that one.
Mm-hmm. Very good color scheme.
11, I'm throwing the American Eagles. I do like I like the choice of purple. It's different out there. I mean, the eagle is whatever. It's big.
Yep.
Takes up a lot of the jersey. But,
yeah.
But I mean, that font is miserable.
Horrible.
And I don't know. And plus, because it's a purple jersey with a 2-color logo inverted, the eagle's head is the dark color, which
I know
makes no sense.
Horrible. It's a bald eagle and its head is purple. I had this a bit.
There's nothing you can really do about that though, unless you're just going to do a all outline and have no, just have lines on the jersey. So they had to do it here.
Mm-hmm. So I had this a bit higher because I really do like the color scheme. Purple's my favorite color, and my dad's high school was the Eagles.
That Kool-Aid right now.
Yeah, that's the name of one of my teams in the fantasy championship this week. No, but my dad's high school was the Eagles, and they were purple and gold. So I do like the whole purple and Eagles bit there connection for me. Kind of subconscious, but like you said, the thing that kind of that holds us back from being a higher on the list is that eagle head and the font. That's the most uninspired font maybe of the whole thing, even more than Copperplate Gothic.
At least Copperplate, you could almost say something about a Revolutionary War look for it, but I don't know.
True.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so next I have the Colonels, the Texas Colonels.
Oh, you mean the Colonels?
Oh, the Colonels, my bad. Yeah, so with the Colonels bit, the thing I didn't really like is it's like another patriotic thing, and I mean, I get it. It's a 4th of July theme. It's like a skivvy type league that takes place on 4th of July. So I get that they're trying to be patriotic and everything, but they got the Colonels bit here. The logo there's so many lines in this logo, and they're all so small. And it's the second team. I mean, second in a row in these rankings, but it's the second team in a wiffle ball league with an eagle as a mascot. So that kind of turns me off on this logo. The colors don't really make a ton of sense here. If you think Colonels, you don't really think green. You really think white and red, and that's probably due to Kentucky Fried Chicken. But that's a bit they could have gone with here. But the one thing I do like is that the logo kind of looks like a logo that you find on a dollar bill, and the font kind of looks like the font that you would find on a dollar bill, and the shirt's green. So maybe I'm liking these. I'm kind of talking to myself into liking these.
Trent likes the money. And I like that you went through that entire another patriotic team bit without once ever mentioning that the league name is the Patriot Series.
Oh my god. I've lost all credibility.
But I'm kind of
Carl, just cancel the podcast now. Just replace me.
I'm with you on this one, though. I want to actually see what that logo looks like close up on a jersey, because I'm sure so much of it gets just...
I'm sure it has to.
Like, there's no way I'm going to lose a lot of American friends right now, because I don't remember what he holds in his right talon. I'm assuming it's some type of wheat or rye or barley, something. Opposite the arrows. Like, there's no way that comes out at all. That's just got to be solid black.
Yeah, it must be. I mean, it's one thing to have a concept of the jersey, but it's another thing to actually have the screen printer print out the screen and have to go through and meticulously get off all of that. So I'm sure you're correct in that it's just a complete cluster down there.
But yeah, I mean, I like the color. That's really the only thing I super like about it. I don't know. Too much detail, but I think I like it more than the other eagle, too, so I don't mind it placing ahead of him. So, moving on to number 9. I'm going with, and I love this name, because I once had an idea for a team, and just to name them, actually it wasn't for a team, it was for a field location, just call it WC Fields, and it'd be Wiffle Club Fields, playing off of soccer and stuff like that. So WC Sparta, you're coming in number 9.
Yeah, the WC makes a couple appearances on these teams, but yeah, most prominently here.
See, that actually surprises me. Texas doesn't seem like a soccer hotbed.
No, it really doesn't.
Yeah, and it's another red team. I think they're the only team to actually wear a bright red. The other ones are either darker. But I mean, it's a pretty generic Spartan helmet, Trojan helmet.
Way to be a homer here, Brandon.
What?
Mr. Michigan State.
I'm not Mr. Michigan State.
Oh, that's right. You're Mr. EMU. Go Eagles.
Hurons. But
fuck.
I mean, their motto is great. This is Sparta. I think that's original.
Yeah.
I think they made that up themselves.
I think they probably did, yeah.
But I mean, it's not great. And again, black on red. Is the. It's another
gotcha.
They actually probably shouldn't have been this high, but
yeah. No, I was
you
just
cracked the
thinking.
top 10.
I was just thinking about that because we're going through this, and I'm like, this really isn't a top 10 identity. And
I think I liked it because it was the only red team, so it got a few more points. But
yeah,
like as I'm looking at it, I'm like, I don't really like anything about it.
Yeah, no, you kind of just nailed it for me. I mean, the font's kind of cool, but yeah, just totally generic. Don't really like the outline on it if I'm getting super picky, but yeah, just something that's probably doesn't deserve a top 10 ranking. But anyways, on to number 8. I have the Buffaloes Wiffle Ball Club, and their motto is "Run with the Pack." Yeah, so I have the Buffaloes. I have the Buffaloes here because I like the bit where it's just the logo and they don't have Buffaloes WC on that, just because that's so prominent throughout most of this league. One thing I don't like about this is I think a solid color buffalo would have played better than just the outline of a buffalo. And light blue is definitely not one of my favorite colors. And I think they could have gone... I think this could have been stellar.
He
Good.
loves light blue.
But yeah, no, this is just it's just a Buffalo Bills kind of concept bit that they stole, and I don't know if they just would have made a couple changes on the logo and made it a solid color buffalo, this probably would have been a bit higher for me. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd agree with you there. It's a whole lot of empty space on the jersey.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to use something with that much empty space, throw a number in there or something. That would work, but unlike you actually like the light blue, that's why I had them actually one ahead of WC Sparta, so we're kind of syncing up now.
Okay.
Although I had them a bit lower on my list. Yeah, a bit lower on my list, but those two were back-to-back for me, and yeah, it's the light blue is the only good thing I really like about this one. I mean, it's a solid concept logo, but
yeah.
So, number 7. I'm going with the Lakeside Dragons. I'm actually really I'm liking doing this, like my initial rankings 2 weeks before I do the podcast, because I'm getting to them and I'm like, no, change of thought. And again, this one's another tattoo logo.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually more detailed than the unicorns, although probably by the same artist or same whatever. I do like the color scheme. The USC style gold on crimson. Is that their proper?
Yeah, pretty. I think USC is technically called Scarlet, but yeah, that's kind of what it looks like.
Oh, Scarlet's bright. Scarlet's Ohio State.
What? Okay.
Whatever. I mean, that's a good color balance. I'm assuming. I don't know if they have numbers on the back or not. I would assume they're in that same color, but it's a pretty good look. Hey, they're up here at number 7 out of a 19-team league. That's not bad, but I don't know.
So this is another one that I had ranked pretty high, and by the way, it looks like USC's like cardinal or red. That's what I'm finding. Their official color code is just red. So, but the thing about the Dragons, I like you. I love the color scheme. That's my high school color scheme actually. So just kind of subconsciously that played pretty well for me. And I really like this dragon, and I kind of disagree that I think it's less detailed than the unicorns bit, or they're like as detailed, but I think this has less, and with jerseys, less is more, and I don't know, I just think that with dragons, because MNWA had a dragons team for like 2-3 years, and I know from making logos personally that dragons are a really hard concept to execute well, and the fact that they found something that can be kind of detailed yet not too detailed, such as other logos in this league. I really like this identity. And I love the motto. It's like, we're red hot. Or hot as fire. Hot as fire. Lakeside Dragons, hot as fire.
See, that's what I didn't do. I didn't take the mottos into any account.
Well, you said we were doing the team identity, and that's part of the identity.
I forgot they had the mottos, Trent.
So just too hard of a worker, I guess. Okay, number 6. Number 6, I'm going with what I am almost certain is a Brandon Corbett ripoff, and that is the Tribe. The Tribe bearing a lot of resemblance to the West Side Warriors, and I'm sure you're going to talk about that. But some of the things I do like, I like the black and orange color scheme, which is something that I've really come to like lately because in high school, my rival school's colors were black and orange, and so I hated them. But it's a really cool color concept that I'm starting to like. It really fits this logo theme well, like I'm sure you agree with, because that's what the West Side Warriors were for years. One thing I don't like about this shirt is the fact that the Tribe font kind of looks like the Friends font, and if I'm thinking about Native Americans and like being intimidating, I don't think about the crappy show Friends.
You're not scared of Joey?
No, not even a little.
What about the blonde chick, the scary one?
Jennifer. Oh, Phoebe?
Yeah, that one. I was going to call her Lisa, so I'm glad I didn't say it.
Well, that's her real name.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, Lisa Kudrow.
Okay. That's the extent of my Friends knowledge.
Yep, we can stop talking about Friends now.
All right. But yeah, you were actually pretty darn close on this one. Like, this one kept, like, as I was, like, comparing it to other ones, I kept nudging it up, because I'm like, it looks like the Warriors. The Warriors look good. But no, I actually had nothing to do with the Warriors' identity. That was all, originally it was all Alex Shore, and then this version 2.0, which this one's actually a little bit closer to, I think. I don't know, it's somewhere in between. Was an Evan Bortmas original.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I had nothing to do with the creation of them. But yeah, like that, I did keep liking that one, although I'm not sure why there are dashes between the letters. I guess they just wanted to extend it out further. But it probably doesn't deserve to be. I had it up at number 2, honestly. Although it probably doesn't, it doesn't deserve to be up there, probably. No. But it was just the nostalgia factor. Like you had your Mount Rushmore thing. I had my thing here.
Yeah, me with the dragons and the high school colors, totally. Subconsciously, it's playing, Brandon.
Subconsciously, it's playing. Some crazy cranks cajoling. All right.
Are you up now? Are you okay?
No, I was singing.
Yeah, I heard.
All right, number 5. Okay. I'm going with the Bad News Bears. Sorry, Trent.
Okay.
I didn't mean Trent, I meant Truck, and I just said your name
instead. Okay, I was like, I don't care.
I mean, I like this one because it's the only yellow jersey in the thing. Like you said, if the Vikings were a yellow, they'd be much higher. These ones get top 5 just for that. The logo is poop. I'm just going to say poop. It's actually a Josh Smith logo back from his... Oh, he's going to be mad at me because I don't remember his original league name. Do you remember it?
Oh, crap. What was it? Greenside or something? I don't know.
I think... Well, his team was the Green Bears, and they used this same logo.
All right. Well, that's the extent of my knowledge.
So yeah, I mean, it looks pretty nice on the shirt. It's a nice bear shirt. Like, it's something you'd wear to a frat party for sure. I mean, I wouldn't. You wouldn't. But...
True.
Chandler would.
Yeah, this shirt does kind of seem Chandler-esque. I agree with that. Yeah.
Good colors.
Yeah, no. So good colors. Because the Bad News Bears are black and yellow. I just don't really like how the logo is like a full-grown adult bear, and it's just a silhouette. Because like when you think of the Bad News Bears, they were like kids, And the logo in HRL for the Bad News Bears is like this little bear cub. So I think that's kind of the reason why I wasn't really crazy about this logo. But in terms of the jersey, I really like it.
Yeah. The jersey is really nice.
Yeah.
Great color.
All right. So number 4, I think I might be breaking your heart because I'm going with the Pirates, whose identity is eerily close to the Islanders of WFC. It's eerily close
to every Pirates team in the history of man.
Wow, Brandon. Okay, Brandon is obviously really touchy about that, so I won't bring it up.
Touchy? It's a crazy crank cajoling.
You're crazy for sure. So yeah, like you said, it's a really generic logo, but it always, it's a classic. It always looks good. It's really hard to mess up a Pirates bit. And the white on black's a classic, and I really like that. So it compared to, like, if this were just straight up grading, I'd probably give it a C because it's kind of lazy. But in terms of looks, like, it's up there because of, compared to some of these other teams, it's really good.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pirate mark, a white logo on a black shirt always works. It's a good pirate mark. And, I mean, this one goes the extra mile because we actually have a few pictures of this team holding the lantern. So, I mean, like, it's good lighting. Note, the lantern itself does not give off light. But, I mean, like actually having a picture of the team, I think, probably boosted them up a little bit higher than they would have been otherwise. So, definitely helps them there. Number 3, I'm going with the Musketeers.
Hey, I knew it. I knew it.
That's actually perfect.
Oh, Brandon. Yeah, I knew you were going with the Musketeers here.
Well, it's because the other two are awesome. But I do actually, I should hate this logo. It's a Three Musketeers logo. Although I do like Three Musketeers. The candy bar. And the movies.
Yeah, samesies. I can't speak for the movies, but I do like the candy bar.
Have you ever seen Man in the Iron Mask?
Nope.
Come on, Trent. Jesus.
Leave me alone.
But, I mean, surprisingly, the font works really well with that fleur-de-lis.
Yeah, it really does, right?
And I like the color scheme. This is actually not gold. This is actually a yellow on a royal blue shirt. And it looks, I mean, the color scheme is good. Definitely worthy of top 3.
Yeah.
The jersey just, again, it's just another one of those logo on the jersey. So that's why it wasn't able to get up into the finals, if you will, the number 1 and number 2. But definitely worthy of a number 3 spot, in my opinion.
Yeah, this was actually going back and, kind of reconsidering. It's probably my favorite look. I think that your mock-up here is better than the actual jersey turned out, but
possible.
Yeah, no, like you said, for some reason that flower and the Three Musketeers bit just it's seamless. Like, they look like they totally belong together, and I totally love that. I like how they can make their reference to Three Musketeers, yet their identity isn't solely based on that. So I straight up, I just love the look of this. I just love the look of this identity.
Yeah, and the colors do bleed into each other more on the actual jersey. There's a faint shot of it, but it's not a clear shot, so that's why.
True.
Hit me with your best shot.
Oh, right then. Number 2, I am going to go with the... Let's see, I want to make sure I get this name right. The Granbury Lake Monsters. And the reason that I have them lower than the other teams... So first of all, I'm just going to get this out of the way. I'm sure the reason that these are number 2, these are 1 and 2, is because the jerseys are remarkably different than the rest of them. They don't look to be screen printed. They look to be hand painted. And so... these two being hand-painted, they're kind of... The look is kind of coinciding muddy, but it looks good because it's so unique. And I think that's what I like about this. It's not just a straight-up... I mean, Lake Monsters isn't a unique name. It's not a unique logo, but it is a pretty unique look, both in this league and overall, because of the way how the Lake Monster's kind of on the right side of the body, and there's not really much on the left. And so I really dig that, and I like how that plays.
Yeah, I mean, the monster actually wraps around to the back, so
yeah,
that's very cool. It is muddier than the other team that's left, so I can totally see why they would fall behind them. It's a very cool concept. I mean, when you're doing something like this, you're not going to be able to get a great look. The only thing you could do is the sublimation that a bunch of teams are doing years back, and as we all learned, that never matches up well.
Unless you do the straight up full sublimation, where like they have to sew it together.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's so expensive.
Like the Skibby jerseys, always they didn't line up, and it was awful.
I tried to do something like this. I tried to do something like this for MNWA back in 2015, and the same company that made the Skibby jerseys and the HRL jerseys and the Blue Jays jerseys, which the Skibby and the HRL Blue Jays jerseys kind of coincide. But I sent that to her, and because it was supposed to be an MNWA on the side, like on the oblique, and she's like, nope, this is never going to work. So I'm like, damn it, and had to think on my feet. Yeah, but yeah, no, for the resources allocated towards this, it looks pretty good.
Oh, hell yeah. And so, if there's nothing else to say here, number 1 is the Cowtown Celtics or Celtics. I'm not sure which way they pronounce it.
I think Cowtown Celtics would be better.
Cowtown Celtics will work better, so we're going to roll with that. And this jersey is awesome. I mean, the logo itself is just a generic cloverleaf. It might even be Boston's. Who would know?
I mean, it is, but yeah.
And even though we ripped on the Founding Fathers for just being black and white earlier on, these guys pulled off, and it's all because of that the Celtic design, the ornate design that's going around the bottom right of the jersey, and then again, it's actually below the number on the back as well, and that's really cool. The numbers that they have on it are actually unique too. Not a very clear shot of it, but it's just a great look. And like you said, it's a completely different jersey. I think it's actually a reversible jersey with nothing on the black side, because the interior of this thing's all black, so it's like it doesn't actually come through all the time as white. Like you see the black bleeding through at times. So I don't know. Good texture. Good design.
Yeah, I totally agree. The thing that sets this apart from the other, from the Rangers and the Bears and everything, is the fact that they had the simple logo, but they kicked things up a notch when they added that Celtic pattern on the side there. I think that's super cool. Something that, if you think about it, it should have been incorporated into the Boston Celtics look a long time ago, because that's something that's super easily identifiable when you're thinking of a team like the Celtics or the Celtics. But yeah, like you said, cool number font on the back. It's not just athletic numbers. Yeah, and I mean, this is a bit where the simplicity will work, but they kicked it up a notch. And so, yeah, I think I totally agree that this team is deserving of the number one seed.
And overall, between the two jerseys that are the two creative jerseys, if you will, this one is cleaner. There's some elements that do bleed a little bit, but overall it's a lot sharper than the Lake Monsters.
Totally agree.
All right. So
that'll do it. Yeah. Oh, let's talk about the league logo. We didn't even talk about that.
We completely jumped over that.
That font they use for the league logo is criminal.
Yes, it is.
Is it? What's it called? Do you remember what it's called?
I think it's your favorite font on the planet.
It's Papyrus.
The weird thing is that they have a few different variations of it. Although, they have this one where the Patriot series is written over his face. There's one where it's just off in his cape, and there's one where it's actually kind of below it. But I couldn't find any good images of any of the other ones, so we're just rolling with this one. And
yeah, if there's one thing this league isn't, it's consistent.
Not necessarily a bad thing. But the one thing that the font, whatever. But the one thing that bothers me about this is they're obviously riffing off the American flag, and yet where this 13, or it should be 13 stars, 4 actually show up, that's on a red part, and then the stripes are blue.
Yeah, good point.
It should probably be inverted. But I do love that they paint this all over the field. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty sick. Yeah, for sure.
To some varying degrees, but sometimes it's a little bit different than others. Like you said, consistency.
Yeah,
but it is very cool.
Yeah, for sure. This was a really fun find because, I think we talked about it last podcast, but as we were, just before we started recording, we were just browsing on the NWLA website, and I clicked on them, and we're like, holy cow, this is legit. There is content here. So I don't know if they're gonna, because I tried to get in contact with these dudes and ladies, and I never heard anything back, and so I don't know if they're ever gonna listen to this. But shout out to you guys, man. This is cool.
Definitely, it's a very, very fun league. I'm interested in it. I'll be paying attention early July. I mean,
yeah, for sure.
It looks like I would love to get more images. I'm sure you have them, but I mean, they did a few videos this past year. One of them doing, like, they pulled out the jerseys from a bag to decide the pool play assignments. They did
is sick.
They did a full video of the draft. There's not much gameplay, unfortunately, but I mean, that other behind-the-scenes stuff was pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's such a cool setting because they call it Steel Stadium or something, and it's
Dead Center. It's awesome.
Yeah, no, I love it because it's a custom field and it's right on a lake. So I mean, I bet this weekend couldn't be more fun for these players to spend a whole weekend. Yeah, exactly. It's their skibby set on a lake on Independence Day weekend. I mean, I'm sure that's just an absolute blast. Definitely something, that you and I will be paying attention to, and hopefully other people pay attention to as well. So let's revisit our random phrases. Exactly. I kind of forgot about it, so I wasn't really listening because I was too busy listening to what you were saying. I didn't catch yours. What was yours?
Mine was cagey crank cajoling. Alliteration should have made that more obvious. I had forgotten about it for a long time, and then I heard you say something that I thought might be yours, so I'm like, oh shit. So then I sang it, and I'm like, he probably wasn't listening to me singing, so I got to re-say it again. So I actually said it twice. So cagey crank cajoling, and I completely forgot what yours was. So I pulled a U on this one where I just completely
totally
blacked out. But
yeah, mine was coinciding muddy.
I did not have coinciding muddy. That was not the one I was thinking of. But
yeah, no, I totally forgot about it too, and obviously, we totally care. No, but because I have it pulled up in my tabs, and I was going through my tabs, closing stuff, and I'm like, oh crap. It was like, once we reached number 5, I'm like, oh my god.
Coinciding muddy, though, is actually really good for this, because, I mean, there were definitely jerseys with muddy characteristics.
Yeah, and you had said it before, and I was kicking myself because you brought it up. And oh my god, just so embarrassing. You used muddy to describe like three of the first jerseys that we did, and I just totally blanked.
Happy I could screw with you. Happy I could screw with you.
Of course.
So we totally dropped the ball on that. And by the way, apparently going down in level makes them harder, which is absurd.
Right? Yeah. So let's wrap this up by going out low like we always do. When we finish the show, we like to go out low, and we like to
leave you
go out of our
bad.
way. Yeah, of course. We like to end on a negative note. So what's our negative note for this show, Brandon?
Oh, guys. Hashtag Twerksberry drop for my friend Jacob Davey in the chat.
Tewksbury.
Backyard Wiffle Ball League Tewksbury. Weird name. But this logo is just, on a scale of 1 to crap, it's somewhere around shit stains. It's
like, it's not even a logo.
It's a lot of different things thrown together. You have, actually the literal wiffle ball logo. It's the first one that comes up when you search wiffle ball on Google. And then you have a wooden bat. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You got the acronym. The acronym's neat. It's unique. It's on a downward angle. And then you have a blue font with a white 3D drop shadow on a blue background. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it really is mystifying how just bad this logo is. And I mean, if you look,
I like your description better. It's not a logo.
Yeah, and it really isn't because, and then if you look
everything's
on
independent of each other.
Seriously, that's the opposite of what a logo is supposed to do. Then if you go to the directory into the directory on NWLA, which is nationalwiffleball.wixsite.com/NWLA.
Good luck remembering that.
Yeah, I don't. I have it bookmarked because I never do. Literally, the way I access the NWLA website is to go through Twitter and click on the link in their bio. But the thumbnail that they have, where most leagues would have a logo, they have it's just a blue field, and not like a wiffle ball field. It's literally just a blue box, and in the top right corner, it's another blue box. Yeah, it's just BWL, and it's like, what?
And when we were trying to think of something we could do for the going out low here, I first found this one. The current logo with the established 2009 in the bottom, when I was going through Twitter feed, just scrolling through, and I saw these guys made a post, and I'm like, oh my god. I throw it at Trent, I'm like, I'm not even sure if this is, this might be so bad we don't even talk about it. But then he's like, no, it's bad. And then I just wanted to see more about him, so I went on the NWLA directory, and I remember we saw this basically right before we found Patriot series last time, and we just ripped on it for about 5 minutes, just the blue box logo. And, I just pulled up. So when we found both of them, we're just like, okay, these guys are getting put on notice. I
don't know which ones are worse.
Since 2009, actually, this one with the three different elements is worse. The blue box, you could say the blue box is trying to be modern and something or other.
True.
This one is just miserable. You guys have been around since 2009. How do you not have a proper logo yet?
I mean, they should have. They should have fallen ass backwards into a decent logo by now. My gosh.
I wonder how many other failed attempts there are in between. This could be a new rabbit hole.
I just wonder, so obviously something came up where they're like, we have to have a league logo. We have to have an identity.
When they finally joined the NWLA.
It
Somebody
was
ripped on the blue
enough,
box, so they came up with this.
It's it was important enough for them to have to make this logo, but not important enough to put more than 2 minutes of effort into it. They're like, okay, crappy wiffle ball image, a wooden baseball bat, and we'll put our league name and established in 2009 in two completely different fonts. It's hilarious. I just don't, I don't understand it at all. And, I mean, I'm sure these guys are great guys, and I'd like to talk to you guys, but, man, is that just odd.
It's not good.
I mean, seriously, there's so many generic wiffle. You could go with the guy batting with the lawn chair strike zone. You know what I'm talking about? The kind of MLB-looking one?
MLW, wiffle ball.
Yeah, exactly. And, I mean, you're going to get ripped for that, but you're not going to be ripped for just being lazy. You're going to... Well, I mean, we're going to rip you either way, but it's just it's just so... It's intriguingly bad.
Think of it this way, Trent. This is me pitching this logo to you.
Perfect.
Keep that in mind, because this could be a good pun.
Oh.
The way we're looking, from behind the ball, it's traveling at the bat as it swings at it. That's our big theme for this. Did that tie it together for you? That's the only thing I could think that might be the intention here, is that the ball is traveling towards the bat and the bat is swinging.
I like the idea of that, but if that was the idea, the execution was historically awful.
It's bad.
So you gonna go watch the new Star Wars movie, Brandon?
I'll see it when it comes out on HBO or something.
It's pretty good. Are you a fan of Star Wars regularly?
I saw Truck's review of it. He gave it high praise. I know it's been getting slammed by a bunch of people, but these are the same people that just rip everything. I trust Truck's opinion more, and Truck gave it a glowing review. So.
Yeah, I'm someone who, my brother really loves Star Wars, and So I've seen all the movies multiple times. I'm not a huge fan of Star Wars. I honestly don't even like the first trilogy that much, but the last two have just been absolutely outstanding. I really liked the latest one, and I just love, like you said, it's the same people who are just gonna bitch no matter what. And it's like the main criticism of The Force Awakens was, oh, it's just a rip-off of A New Hope. It's the same. Like, storyline for storyline, it's just the same. And then this one's just completely out of left field different, and they're like, oh, it's too different. Like, it's just so... Like, it's Star Wars. You don't have to make it so complicated. It's like, what do you want, you goddamn trolls?
Bingo.